Do you like surprises? Or do you just need to know? Picture this for a minute. You're 5 years old. It's a week before Christmas and you stumble upon a closet full of wrapped gifts piled inside just for you. What do? Get the steam iron, melt the tape off, take a peek and sneakily replace the package back knowing you've discovered the prize? Or do you wait it out like a good little soldier in a zen-like rejection of the material holiday? I can only assume that this is the internal struggle of all those YouTube unboxers out there. It's one of those genres that I just don't get. It's like watching other people play video games or eat pie. After a few seconds, you just want to do it yourself. Anyway, if you haven't guessed it yet, we are of course about to dive deep into the story of victim number 4, Perry Winklehorn. This kill was murder on mass scale as IK spread that little bit of cereal flavor nationwide. I'm your host Ben Robinson, and here's what we know. On February 27th, Perry, username Periwinkle Pancake, posted one of his usual unboxing videos, this time featuring a custom-made fidget spinner made in his likeness and pancakes. It was a thinly veiled ploy to start his own annoying merchandise stream, and to his credit, it did work. In fact, hundreds of his followers bought in on day one, but when they got to doing their own unboxing tribute videos upon the arrival of their purchase, they were delivered a gory surprise, which made for a goldmine of some particularly disturbing and thoroughly entertaining reaction videos. Now, the reports and posts I've seen dispersed don't go into exact detail as to whether his entire body was distributed or just a few choice cuts, but needless to say, they were not exactly the best pieces to fidget with, except for maybe the kneecap. I don't know, it just seems like a fun joint. The post office has gone dark in light of this recent kerfuffle, but they did appear in front of the press long enough to say that they had no comment, and hope that the police can put Humpty back together again, which, with the current state of the Postal Service, could be anywhere from 6 to 10 business days, foregoing express shipping, of course. The police have been delayed in giving any statement on the original destinations of the packages, which unconfirmed reports have suggested as being a number of donut shops near Winklehorn's home. One of the elements that I find so fascinating about this murder is that she not only effectively used the service he was using to try to connect with his fans, but she also managed to make a comment of the vanity involved. Perry's whole slogan was, after all, a little piece of me to you for the price of $8.99. So, did fans get their money's worth? Now, on to the grittier bits. Perry was identified by his fingerprints and confirmed by several different police sources across the country where his digits were distributed, but more, less distinct pieces were also shipped. Authorities have searched his home and usual hotspots to see if they can find any evidence of his remains to no avail, which leads them to theorize that he was neatly packaged in 1 to 3 inch parts, warts and all, head to toe, but I don't believe that IK is that gruesome. Clue number 1, nobody reported finding any internal organs in the mail. Either she simply didn't send them, or she mailed intestines to someone who was already, in fact, expecting to receive intestines. Either way, probably best to err on the side of caution and avoid any homemade sausages for the next few weeks. Clue number 2, none of her kills have thus far required so much work. Farrah Isaacs would be the second most in this scenario, but even then, she really only got cut through the joints and placed into a pot. Clue number 3, her motives are more sophisticated. She has been described as an online hitman, some say vigilante even. I wouldn't go that far myself, but in order to earn that reputation, you don't typically bathe in your victim's blood for the sport of it. She's a professional, and I think there was a reason that 83 boxes were sent. Because where's the rest of them? Who knows? Until I get a blood-soaked package in the mailbox, I'm going to assume he's just in better places. And speaking about Perry, I don't know how he didn't see this one coming. Not to speak ill of the dead here, but looking at the clue, which was posted on the same day as his final video, the writing was on the social media wall. I mean, when IK posts a picture of a bloody fidget spinner garnished with razor blades an hour after you announce your own product line, which happens to be fidget spinners, wouldn't you stop and put 2 and 2 together? Or perhaps he didn't notice. IK has subtly grown into this social media phenomenon. She wasn't an overnight sensation. So it is possible that she flew under the radar, which might explain the surprise that came to Mr. Winklehorn. Perhaps he was just the unfortunate victim that became her signature subject for mail-ordered marketing, each fragment furthering her public awareness by putting an actual piece of her work into the hands of the people. Because let's face it, who doesn't like some free swag? This kill has been featured on several major news outlets, and with the similarities of the other deaths, it's hard not to notice. This is the ice bucket challenge in serial killer terms, and it too has a cause. Mr. Winklehorn represented commercialism. He represented selling out. He expected the world to be handed to him, and all of these put him in IK's sights. Like I said, she's not in this for the gore. She has an agenda, she has a type, and she has the means to elevate herself into the big leagues of serial image killing. And with murders such as this, who knows how long it will be before she's caught. It took 17 years to catch the Unabomber, a career that lasted longer than some of you have been alive. So, how long will it take to catch the Unaboxer? I have my theories, but we're going to pick that up later. Until then, I wish the various authorities from all the jurisdictions containing a piece of Perry Winklehorn the very best of luck in what I'm sure is the most bureaucratic nightmare of a case ever conceived. And that is all we know. Sleep tight and be sure to use appropriate standage. All right, good night.